It's crazy. All I'm waiting for is the city of Utah to approve my name. But then, I am officially a business. That's scary. And so exciting at the same time. That was actually pretty easy, though. I will say, anybody that needs to create an LLC, there's a lot of questions, but the process is not that hard. The online registration bit, it costs $22, and it just asks a bunch of questions, all stuff that more or less you would know. So yeah, I'm just about there. Probably be by tonight. It'll be all official. And I'm going to wait to release the name just because I want to make sure everything is done first. So I'll give you kind of a little idea of where I am at. So I've filed to create an LLC now. I have a tax identification number and everything. That's all done. I have most of the materials I'll be doing the general business with. But here's the things I have left to do. I need to create logos, business cards. I have a Facebook page created, but it needs to be flushed out, which will come after the logos. Instagram page. I need to do... there's no reason to really do a Twitter. Eventually I'll create a website. For now, I'm just going to stick with Facebook and Instagram. It's perfect enough for a small business. At least starting up, because most of my business is honestly going to be advertised outside and not off Google. And then, yeah, just start going from there. We're not that far off, honestly. That's what makes it so exciting, is that probably only a week or two away from having like everything seem completely official and not just doing everything, under my name, which is completely legal. I should state something. You don't have to create a business, quote unquote, legally. You can do all of your business, or all of what I do, as a sole proprietor, which means that you're basically making your name a business name. You're taking all that income in just like a business would, sorting it out between, and then you're having to sort out what's business expenses and what's personal because it's all coming through the same accounts. I've been doing that for over a year and a half. Because even my time at Package Runner, I was a sole proprietor individual with a 1099, 1099 payment, contracting with the company. I wasn't actually an employee. So, you don't have to really do this. There's a lot of advantages to that. There is some disadvantages to creating a corporation like this, which they're not that big. They're easy to overcome. Obviously now now everything is separate. My life is completely separate now from company life. They do still intertwine because I'm the owner of the LLC and I will be putting money into it, getting paid by it, etc. But if, for instance, a lot of people do it for lawsuit reasons, but say, for instance, even that corporation went bankrupt, it doesn't hurt me as much. It still does hurt because I'm still related to it and I'm still the member. But it doesn't hurt me as much. On top of, also, same thing with lawsuits, kind of protects you from that. Whereas as a sole individual, the main advantage of that is that you aren't paying taxes for multiple different things. It's a lot less complicated on the tax portion of it, to where you just have to simply state, oh, this is how much I made doing X activity. Now it's, oh, this is how much I made from my company that I own doing X activity, and then the company also has to report for that. So, there's a lot of advantage to honestly staying a sole proprietor. It's just there's a lot of liability risk that you take. So, for instance, say I'm detailing, somebody's very rare early 2000s Aston Martin. Put a nick in the paint, something like that. Something happens to where there's damage that occurs. Because of the fact I'm not a business, I can't have business insurance to compensate for that. I have to pay that out of pocket. Now, if you're doing well enough as a sole proprietor, that may not be a big deal. However, it's kind of difficult because you start treading the line of being a business once you, create a name with business cards, and although you can still kind of make it legal by going through and sorting expenses and basically saying I accounted for all of my taxable income, etc., it just gets fishy. So at that point, it's just better to just take the dive and create it. And this will be new for me, because the one thing I haven't done, I've learned most of the stuff I would need to know from a personal finance perspective as far as tax goes, write-offs, what I can write off, what I can't. So that's all fine and dandy. Now I have to go through and take a dive and learn all of this stuff, because my goal, as crazy as it sounds, is to be kind of an individual as long as possible. I'm not trying to become an expert in tax and law or accounting, but the longer that I can survive without having to pay somebody to do those services, the better off that I am, so long as I do a good job. For instance, on my taxes last year, I spent quite a bit of time learning what, as a 1099 contractor, I can and cannot write off. And, excuse me, and that helped me out in the end, because I paid not very much taxes last year completely legally. I had a lot of personal expense that went into me doing business. So, I'm really excited to see where this goes. Keep you guys informed.